Okay, hi all. This is a very quick overview of the online digital exam system that you are going to be using in your upcoming exam. Now, I have been through this with you already in class, but I thought I'd do a very quick reminder and a quick overview of the system, just so that you're a bit more comfortable when you come in to the actual exam. Now, when you enter the exam, you will be given a key code. This key code is unique to you. And as you can see, I've got one entered here, ABCD1234. Yours will probably be made up of the same format. When you sit down, you will be asked then to enter the key once the invigilators are ready. So once you've done that, you enter your key, you click OK, and then it goes on to the next screen. Now, again, the invigilators will probably ask you to check your last name and first name to make sure they are correct. You can see this one just says user and demo, and then the test name. Yours will probably say something like Digital Technology Unit 1 2025. So you need to make sure that is the correct test. The language should be in English unless you've opted to do the exam in Welsh, but I think everyone has opted to do it in English. Your invigilators then will ask you to click on the confirm button once you've checked those and everything is okay. So this is the first part then, where you are given almost the front cover of the exam. So don't forget, as this is a digital exam, you don't get the traditional paper like you would normally. So you can see here, it's 1.5 hours that you will get for this exam. If you are entitled to extra time, this will automatically be added on to the system. And when we start the exam now, you'll see there'll be a timer. I'll point a few other things out as well. The instructions to candidates are quite straightforward. Answer all questions and type your answers in the boxes provided on screen. Don't try and bold anything or use any keyboard shortcuts. They don't work. It's just text. That's all they're after. The number of marks is given in brackets at the end of each question or part question. And I'll point that out now when we actually get started. And the total number of marks in this exam is 80. Some questions require you to scroll down the page, so I'll go through this with you now very quickly. And at the end of the exam, you are going to be given an extended answer question where the quality of written communication, QWC, is taken into account. Now, there are no spell checks, there's no grammar checks, so you have to remember, if you need to put a comma in a sentence, you have to put the comma in manually. Likewise, capital letters are very important as well. Now, you will click on this button here at the bottom to start the test. Your invigilators will tell you when to start the test, and as soon as you start this test, you'll notice there's a timer here which is counting down. Now, you can see on mine it says 1 hour 29. If you're entitled to extra time, this will automatically be added on. Now, before we actually start the test, I want to go through a few little things with you. On the left hand side here are the question numbers. So 1 to 10. Obviously, your exam might have 11 or 12 questions in there. This one here has 10. You can see the boxes are here for you to answer, and you can click in them and type your answer in here. So if we look at some of these, as you type, you can type whatever you need in, and then you go on to the next part there, and you'll be away to go. Now, mine is giving me a little red line because I've got a tool checker on here for me. Yours will not do anything of the same thing. Now, as you can see, some boxes are a little bit bigger and some are smaller. Typically, use the size of the box to gauge how much you need to write. This here is a describe question, so they're asking for a description of something, and henceforth why it's worth a few more marks. These here where it says name, they just want one little thing as well. Now, you might have just noticed when you highlight certain things, if I click, hold and drag over, you'll see this highlighting button. So what you can do is you can highlight over keywords. As you can see there, I've turned the yellow highlighter on. There is only one color to highlight, but you can do this, and the examiner actually sees this as well. So when they get your paper, they can actually see what you have highlighted. Now, as you go through here, you can see there's a number of different styles of questions. Some are large box, some are small box. If I go on to the next page, you can see there's other options here. So this is another example here. Select the boxes which show the following statements about the advantages of graphical user interface are true. So these are almost like check boxes. So if you click on them, you can see then which ones are effectively selected. Okay. Now, if it's asking you for 4 marks, it typically wants 4 things selected. Now, what you will notice is as I go through this exam, if I leave something blank, it doesn't warn me, it doesn't alert me, it allows me to leave things blank, okay? So if you want to come back to a question later, you'll notice there's a flag at the bottom. If I click on the flag, it basically puts a little image there next to the question here, and that shows me that I need to come back to this question. Now, if you have a page where there's a lot of questions on here, as an example, you can see this one. If I flag this, it flags the whole page. So if, for example, I've entered something here and I've entered something here, but I've left this one out, you can then go back to it and it'll tell you there. You'll be able to see what it is you've left out. Now, if you need to change the color of the screen, you'll notice there's a cog in the bottom corner here. If we click on the cog, you'll notice there's different variations and different color schemes as well. So if we go with yellow text with the black background and then click OK, what it does then, it puts the entire screen in a high contrast mode. You might like that, you might not like it. That is your choice. There is one downside with changing the color, and it's this. You remember the highlighter that we used earlier? If I was to highlight something here, all it does is it puts a box around this. It doesn't actually change the color. And that's exactly the same then. If I change this black text for light magenta, it doesn't actually change anything. The only way to see the highlighting is to actually go with the default color scheme, and that then puts you back on there. Now you'll notice I've accidentally clicked on this here, section review. This hasn't stopped the exam is still running. If I go back to continue test, you can still go back in through this. Now as we go through these questions, I'm just going now to the end. You can see here, this is the last question, and this is the QWC question, quality of written communication. Now this box is quite sizable, and they'd ask you there to type lots of information in here to show and basically explain whatever they're asking for. Now my advice whenever you come to these types of questions is use the highlighter to make sure you highlight key part. So obviously with this example here, we're looking at cyber resilience, and we've got to explain, so that there's going to be highlighted. We want to know the meaning of cyber resilience, and we need to know the consequences of a cyber attack on the company and the measures the company can put in place to prevent. Now, I know I've just highlighted a massive amount here, but it basically does help you then go back, and it adds like a checklist in for you. Now, you'll notice when you start typing here, there's no bullet points, there's no formatting, you can't underline things. You literally just type your answer in here, and you keep on going until you think, yeah, I'm done. Now, when you come to the end of the exam, if you click on this finish test, you will then see a question like this, if you have flagged questions or if you've left some things blank. So it's saying there, you have not attempted all of the questions in this test and some have been flagged. So obviously it's giving me a warning here. Are you sure you'd like to finish? And you've got the option to either finish or cancel. If you click on cancel, you go back, and then you can go back to the things you flagged. If you are happy, you can take the flag off, and then you can go back to finish test. Now this time it's saying you haven't attempted all the questions. That's just giving you a reminder. It's not telling you which one. It's just giving you a quick reminder. If you're happy, then click on finish, and then it asks you again. So you've got 2 chances at this now to go back. If you finish, your answers will be submitted. You'll not be able to return. Click on finish, and then it is done. Now there is something very important to remember. In a normal exam, When you finish the paper and you fold it over, if 10 minutes before the end of the exam you think, I wouldn't mind going back and having a little go at this again, you can open the paper back up. You can't do that with this type of test. Once you've submitted, as you've seen with the warning, once you've submitted the test, it's done for you. Now, if you do finish early, that's fine. You will not be able to leave the room earlier. You can just sit there. The PCs will be on a special exam account, so you won't have access to any of your usual documents or anything else on the computers, so you will need to just sit there. What I would advise you to do is when you get to the end of the exam, go through it, check everything, check for spelling, grammar, punctuation, especially on the last question, and please do not leave anything blank. If you're ever unsure and you can't think of anything, put a guess down, because a guess might get you a mark. Leaving it blank will guarantee you will not get any marks. Now, if you've got any questions or problems or any queries before the exam, please feel free, send me a little message, send me an email, and I'll gladly go through anything with you. Apart from that, folks, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you on the morning of the exam.